Hi folks, welcome to the Drumming Ministry channel, part 2 for the 1960s. My name is Lucas DeSouza and we're going to be taking a look at a young man again at the age of 15 recording what would become one of his best known songs. And the man was and still is a wonder. Okay, so what are we talking about when we talk about Motown? Well, first of all, Motown has to do with Motor Town. It was, I think, originally a fad of music, a booming music industry that occurred in Detroit. So a lot of people were recording good rhythm and blues and soul music, but with a beat. And so it became kind of this, well, it began in Motown, it began in Detroit, but then any song that came after that era was kind of referred to as Motown because it had that kind of style that would be upbeat drums, especially, I'll talk about this when we play the song, snare drum on all 4 beats. That's actually very, very traditional for this style of music. And horns, a lot of horns in Motown music. And so those are just a couple of the characteristics of Motown, but we could go into a whole in-depth study on that. So I just want to say this. This young man had a great career already. I believe he had a couple of hits before he hit puberty. And then after his voice changed and it got lower, he had to find a way to get back on his feet because I don't know if he was doing too good in 1963, 1964. And so as he was heading into adulthood and at the age of 15, he came out with this song in 1965 called Uptight. Ladies and gentlemen, Stevie Wonder, and I'm going to play this right along with him. That is a great song to play if you want a good workout. And that is what I was talking about. On the snare drum, Motown has a lot of snare on all 4 beats. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. While the hi-hats do 8th notes and the bass drum does a little bit counteracting what the snare drum does. So if I were to play it slowly, now, I had a little bit of a revelation with this when I was teaching one of my students. I told him this is a very unique genre because the bass is functioning in the way the snare drum would if this was flipped in a regular rock song of, I don't know, say today. Okay, so again, think quarter notes on the snare and the 8th, that's the 1, 2, 3, and 4, and so the end of 3 and the end of 4 being played on the bass, flip that. like, wait, what did they do there? Now, there's, again, we could go into a whole history about how beats were developed, but I just want to share that with you guys because it's fascinating how things relate to each other, but they are different. They're very different. It just depends on how you interpret things, and it depends on how you put things together, mix and match, flip things. There's so much that you can do with just a simple beat. So, Stevie Wonder came out in 1965 with Uptight, Everything's Alright. There's nothing more that you could ask for a great Motown song than that. I mean, than this. So this is a great song. Again, a lot of energy on the snare, a lot of horns, right? A lot of all that. But there were so many other good Motown players and singers that we just don't have time for that. I'm gonna link this. I'm gonna link a Motown song by the Supremes, a trio of wonderful singers. I believe Diana Ross was a part of the Supremes at some point, and they had a great song, Where Did Our Love Go, from 1964, I believe. So I'm going to attach that in this video so you can have that and listen to their vocals, because Motown wasn't all just about energy and like horns blaring. It could also be a little bit smoother, a little bit softer, but it was still really soulful, and it was just a groovy genre to play in. So that's a little bit of Motown. I forgot to also mention that with the Beach Boys in the previous video, we're gonna want to take notes on that. The Beach Boys' harmonies, amazing. By the way, if you ever wondered how Brian Wilson, because he's the one that kind of orchestrated their harmonies together, if you ever wondered how did he get those ideas, guess where he got them from? A more doo-wop-ish group called the Four Preps, and they were popular back in the mid to late 50s. So it's amazing to see this trajectory. The Four Preps, by the way, sounded great. I would recommend, I might have to attach that here as well. So I'll send you a song by the Four Preps that you may like, and you can get an idea for how Brian Wilson got his ideas. But we're gonna want to take notes on Brian Wilson and the Beach Boys, because their harmonies and their style wasn't just about surf. They got that down really good, but they also did a lot to make rock accessible to the 60s. And we could take a look at psychedelic rock, but we don't have time. The rock sound that they produced, though, has actually been subtly preserved throughout the decades. Now, I'm not going to say it's been present every day, every decade, every time, but it has been preserved, so you could tell where people have gotten their influences from by the time we hit the 2000s, 2010s. So that's even before maybe the 90s. There's a song that I got to show you guys. So anyway, have a good week, and next week we'll be taking a look at the 70s to see some more rock, but also some disco. Now don't go away. Disco is actually better than you think. I know people have been traumatized by it, maybe because it's just repetitive and whatever, but it's a good beat, and I think you'll like it. Take care.